Today, a short and concise update video on Bitcoin and Ethereum. We'll also briefly go over Solana and XRP. At the moment, in my opinion, it's best to sit tight. We are seeing a strong consolidation. It seems that institutions are currently placing their orders, especially with Bitcoin. You can see we're in this demand zone, which is currently providing us with support again. And that's been the case the whole time. So far, we've only had one wick to the downside. That was like when Donald Trump had his dispute with Elon Musk, a massive pump. But apart from that, you can see that this area is still serving as support at the moment. Overall, though, we can say that we have a bearish pattern here. If we play out this bearish pattern that we have here, it would bring us roughly into the next demand zone. That means around 99,000 US dollars. If we look at this on the 3-month chart in the liquidation heat map, that would finally be this cluster I always talk about, which is down here. If we can check that off, if that gets picked up, I would be really happy as long as it doesn't go any lower. But of course, that doesn't mean we're going to go straight down there right now, because we're making lower highs and higher lows here, which overall is bringing us into a consolidation phase. And this consolidation is actually so strong at the moment if we look at the price range, that from about 2% 2 days ago to the current point in time regarding yesterday has resulted in a consolidation of about 1%. And now it's just a matter of time in which direction will we break out. And we can also see this on the smaller time frames. For example, if we now include the 3-day chart in the liquidation heat map, you can see that there is massive liquidity all the way up to 106,350 US dollars and a bit more above that at 108,000. But below that, new longs have also been building up since yesterday at around 103,000. What could be the reason for us to target exactly this liquidity here? That would, in this case, perfectly coincide with this upper supply zone, which is around 106,350. And as you can see here, it has also served as support and resistance in the past. And that's why it would be interesting to see whether we actually break out to the upside and test this price area now, or if we actually go down again towards 103,580. What did I say earlier? Around 103,000 is where this liquidation cluster is located. That means today's market opening will be very exciting. Yesterday, the markets were closest to see whether we actually wick down and pick up various candles, maybe even this candle low here once more, and have a breakout to the downside from this support line. Hopefully it's just a fake out. But I could imagine that because of this liquidation zone and the market opening, we'll now see new volatility that will target one or even both of these liquidation zones. And if we later take a look at the monthly chart, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that here at 111,000, which is just super interesting, there are several billion lying there. That even goes up to around 113,600. That means we have 15 to 20 billion lying here, which of course continues to be interesting. Despite everything, we have war events, we have various scenarios currently happening around the world. There could be peace talks, there could be preparations for the USA to get involved, and so on and so forth. However, I think these are all just speculations that none of us really know, because if this is happening in the background, then no influencer, no one on X, or anyone else will know exactly when it will take place. Instead, we should really be careful here and keep a low profile. My current long positions that I have open will go through those as well. I will also secure those accordingly. We'll also go through the trading bots in detail. That's actually very interesting overall as well. But then we really need to be careful if an escalation actually happens now, so that we don't end up with long positions that stay open forever and take on a massive loss. But my main indicator remains BlackRock, because BlackRock is gradually accumulating Bitcoin and Ethereum, especially a lot of Ethereum. We can also see that in the past few days, despite the ongoing war, institutional ETF providers have been continuously accumulating Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's really fascinating to watch. Meanwhile, and I saw this today on Crypto Wall Street on X, according to the latest CFTC CME data, there are currently 11,057 net shorts opened on Ethereum, which is a historic high in terms of positions. And that would also support now. Let's continue with Ethereum. Why Ethereum is currently... Let's take a look at that on the weekly chart. I think I mentioned this during the live session yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. Because here we have an absolutely unique weekly chart pattern that I haven't seen before with Ethereum. The candle closes overall for Ethereum over the past 6 weeks have actually only varied by about 2%. We did have massive price pumps and massive price dumps, but everything closed again within that 2% range. What could that mean? Institutional ETFs are buying Ethereum. The price is rising not just because of that, but also because many people are jumping on the momentum and going long. And on the other hand, there are other institutional shorts coming in, pushing the price back down each time. What could this signify? Pure speculation? This could possibly be so that the Ethereum staking ETF is actually approved here or is on the verge of approval, and the institutions are saying, but we don't want the price to go up too much just yet because we want to be able to buy Ethereum at around this price range without any rush. That's why buying is happening here, momentum builds, the price rises, but at the same time the institutions are also saying it doesn't matter, we'll stick to this price range. After all, this is our entry price, so to speak, and we'll just short it back down and can make profits again with the shorts and make new purchases. Pure speculation, it can't be confirmed, but of course it would be an ideal move for the ETFs so that they can accumulate more and more while the price still remains low. If we take a quick look at Solana as well, Solana doesn't look very positive right now either. We're actually in a descending triangle here. In this demand zone, we keep seeing support, but we are consistently making lower highs, unfortunately, which isn't so good either. And at the moment, I haven't found any coin, either Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, nor even XRP, if we take a look where there are any bullish signals, but also not really any bearish signals either. I'm talking here about a divergence. A divergence could, for example, tell us, hey, we have a bullish upswing now, or a bearish divergence could indicate that we have a bearish upswing. But at the moment, there's not much here. We can also see that this low is being held very well by XRP right now and is currently providing us with support, but the selling pressure from above is increasing massively. We're no longer making higher highs, but rather lower highs each time, and the price is still being held back here. If that happens, as well if this price range is broken to the downside, and I'll switch to the daily chart for that then, just looking at the order volume here, if we fall below it, meaning a bit below this white support line, there's significantly little volume beneath us, and that would of course not be good for the XRP price. And that's also the reason why my XRP position, which I don't have here, but here I have a small XRP position that has realized a little bit if we fall below this support zone here. Then for me, it would definitely mean that I would close this position. Overall, that would probably be a break-even trade, but I could re-enter at a lower level. The Ethereum position was opened at $2,150. I'm definitely going to keep that one open for now. I've already realized $4,000 there, and there are still $3,000 left in it. And for the Bitcoin 2x long, our current entry price is $94,000. I would just continue to scale that one. That's still fine as well. What's going on with the other position is, you can see the 5x position on Bitcoin, where I'm now waiting at $5,000. Now it's at $4,700, but my entry price is actually acting a bit as support right now, which I don't find all that great either. However, since I've already taken profits in this position, I have a price range of about $100 and $2,000 where I could still exit at break even, and then I could actually open my new long orders around the liquidation point, which is roughly at $100,000. The trading bots themselves, if we take a look, the first one is still at about -1%, which is completely fine. But then we still have the others, which have been running for a bit longer. They are now at 2%, 6% and 12%. Despite this strong consolidation now, I have to say that's really good. But what I really need here is more volatility, definitely, so that we can hit new take profits again, or for that matter, pick up new buy orders on the downside. Because with the Future Streaks leverage bot, we've only had 7 buy orders so far. It has now made just about 1.7% in 16 days. And with the spot bots, I actually have 2 trading bots that have 21 buy orders, but so far haven't reached the take profit. That's why if the price goes down, that would be ideal, because then we would buy more and the take profit would generate more profits. Or if it goes up, so that we finally get a new entry here and can restart the vehicle from scratch. Because at the moment it's quiet, not much is really happening, and we have to keep that in mind as well. Other than that, that's basically it. That was this short update. We'll see what happens today when the market opens. We'll see. I'll update you in the Telegram group as soon as BlackRock does something new here. If BlackRock sells something and moves some Bitcoins into outflow, I think that's less likely with Ethereum. We've just sent a lot of Ethereum to external wallets, but the last time that happened, it was 2 weeks ago and it was massive, and then a week ago, but since then, nothing else has happened in terms of outflow. And if that does happen, I'll update you, because then I would very likely also open short positions. Until then, leave a like, a comment, and for everyone who hasn't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. See you next time. Ciao!